Hello everyone, my name is John Bussart. I'm an HP Solution Center engineer for Ingram Micro. I help support servers, blade systems, storage, as well as networking technology solutions from HP. In this series of videos, we're going to explore HP's StoreOnce backup systems. These are disk-based, deduplicated backup systems that you would point your backup software to. So something like HP's Data Protector, you'd point its backup jobs to this as a repository for them. In my videos, what I like to do is show you a slide from a popular PowerPoint that's out there and then demonstrate to you what that means within the management console. Today I've chosen the HP StoreOnce Enterprise Manager, or what's abbreviated as SEM. So this is a centralized management tool for all your StoreOnce appliances, whether they be physical appliances or the virtual VSA appliances. Right, and if you don't know what the VSA is, we'll talk about that in an upcoming video. Right, so this allows you to be able to get centralized monitoring, alerting, management, as well as troubleshooting of your backup environment. Right. Nice feature of this software is it's free of charge when you buy a StoreOnce appliance. So there's no additional cost for setting up and implementing this solution within your environment. All right, so with that being said, let's look at this solution. All right, here's the HP StoreOnce Enterprise Manager login page. As you can see, I'm accessing this through a web browser. It was a pretty simple install. I actually have my instance running on a virtual machine running Windows 2008 R2. You just pretty much plop the executable up on that system and blast through the installation process. And once you're done, you can have access to this software. So pretty simple install. If you want to access it remotely, you're going to want to open up this port here on your firewall. And that's what I've done to be able to access this demonstration I'm showing you today. So let me log into the appliance. Alright, so I get an overall status summary page. You can see that I've got two devices that I'm managing and they're in an ungrouped category. Basically, I haven't done anything special with this installation of StoreOnce Enterprise Manager. I've just discovered a couple of appliances that are out there. And the way I've done that is underneath administration, you'll see something that's called device management. If you go in there, you can click add. You'll put in the IP address of your StoreOnce system, as well as the authentication. That's basically all you need to be able to add that to this management interface. And these are the two systems that show up. All right. And once I discover them, they'll end up in this ungrouped category. All right. And then I could continue my management from there. And if I want to get a view into all devices that I'm managing with StoreOnce Enterprise Manager, just not the newly discovered devices, I'd look under all devices here. All right, we still have these same two systems because I haven't done anything special in the environment. You can see that I'm managing two different systems again. There's a physical 2610 iSCSI backup appliance. I can also tell there are updates that are available for this appliance, and I could follow this link to be able to get those updates if I wanted them. I'm also managing an HP StoreOnce VSA virtual version of a StoreOnce appliance. I can certainly put this IP address inside a web browser and manage this device, so I could do something like this. And I could bring up this management interface and log in. But as my environment grows, it gets to be difficult to remember DNS names or IP addresses. So what I can do is I can select my system here and then select Launch GUI. And under Launch Devices, you'll see it shows up down here, and then I could log in. All right, and I could have multiple systems opened at the same time if I wanted to. Let's go back up to all devices. I can get more detailed information as far as what's going on in my backup appliance. For example, if I select this system here, we can see I default to a device status page, which shows me that my status is running. My VTL or virtual library status, I got one library with 8 slots. I've got a NAS running on this box, so I've got 2 NAS shares with 1,500 entries in them. No Catalyst stores, and it also gives me some disk statistics as well, so it also tells me my deduplication ratio. Now I've just thrown some data up here so we have something to look at. So obviously over time my deduplication ratio will certainly go up. I am doing replication between these two boxes. So if I go back into that menu, you could see that I have tabs for virtual library replication, and the status is good, as well as NAS replication. And if I had any Catalyst Store replications, they would show up as well. Let's go back over to this tab. I can burrow in a little bit deeper on my, well, something like my virtual library status. You can see they have one library. That's its deduplication ratio, as well as the space that it's using, as well as the overall deduplication on the box. I could also look at my NAS status. Right. These are each of my shares and the deduplication ratio I'm getting on each of those shares, as well as the overall disk usage. I can also get some other reports down here under the reporting category. I don't have a lot going on, so there isn't a lot happening down here, but I could get a dashboard of what's going on. Right. I could look at my replication. And if I had Catalyst stores running, the performance of the box, storage. Right. Look at storage over time, and then some alerts and things like that. Alright, so that's all devices, ungrouped devices. Remove devices. If I happen to go in here and decide to unmanage a device, it'll end up in remove devices, and then I'd come in here to actually permanently remove it if I wanted to. Now, administration of the appliances or the StoreOnce Enterprise Manager, I could select here and select Active Directory Authentication. If I want to send email alerts, I could add an email server. Data retention, this has nothing to do with the data on the StoreOnce appliances. It's just for the local database. And then about, which will tell me what version of the software I am running. Under user management, we'll see our different users. I'm going to add a user. I'm going to show you how we can kind of manipulate user information, but let's create a user. Call this guy VTL user. We'll give him a password. Right, and we'll create this guy as just a regular user. All right, so it's easy to create users. If I selected them and select deactivated, it would show up under deactivated user, and I could permanently remove them again. Group management. Like I had mentioned, once I go under device management and I discover a device, it goes into this ungrouped category. And if you look under group management, you'll see that this ungrouped category exists. Right. I could create a new category, and I can pretty much slice and dice up these appliances however I want. So let's create a new category. We're going to make it for the virtual tape libraries in this environment, or the VTLs. So we'll call it VTL. Right. Select next. I'm going to select all my virtual tape libraries, and these are just the main VTL as well as the replicated VTL. I'll add all. Select next. I'm not interested in the NAS shares for this, so I'm just going to select next. No Catalyst and no Team Catalyst stores. And then because this is the VTL management group, I'm going to select the VTL user and add him. Select next and then finish. Now you can see that I have this new VTL group, and then under devices you'll see I have this VTL category. Right. If I look at all devices and I look at maybe this physical appliance, you see I have access to everything here. The virtual library status as well as the NAS status, and I could dig into that and get that information. But if I look under the VTL category and I dig in, you'll see that I only have access to the VTL tape layer. Now I'm logged in as the administrator, so I get access to everything. Where this comes in handy is when I log in as another user. So let's do that. Let's log in as that VTL user that I created. All right, you can see under devices they can only get access to this one group. I select the VTL devices, you'll see the two storage systems, but if I dig in a little bit deeper, they again only have access to the virtual tape library. So you can slice and dice this however you want. You can slice and dice it by NAS shares, VTL shares, by appliances, however you want to do management within your environment or allocate management within your infrastructure. So this is everything I wanted to show you about the HP StoreOnce Enterprise Manager. Again, this is a free piece of software to allow you to be able to manage your StoreOnce backup system environments through a single pane of glass. I hope everybody found this video informative, and please stay tuned for more videos.